Sure must think owls are dumb, Bruce muttered to me when Mr. Miller wasn't near. She may not see him, but I could see that tent in her eyes were tight shut, and I don't think she's going to like it. When the blind was finished, Mr. Miller said he was ready to try it. You boys go off for a walk, he told us. Make a lot of noise when you're leaving. The books say birds can't count, so the owl will think all three of us have gone, and she'll never guess I've stayed here in the blind. Okay, Mr. Miller, I said. Come on, Brucey, let's get going. We walked about a mile away to a little slough and started looking for a red-winged blackbird's nest. It was another nice day, and we forgot about Mr. Miller until we began to get hungry. Then we went back to the bluff. Mr. Miller was on the ground. He had just finished the rest of his cold tea, but he didn't look the least bit well. His face was awfully white, and his hands were shaking as he tried to put his camera away. The camera looked as if it had fallen out of the tree. It was all scratched and covered with dirt. Get some good pictures, sir? I asked him cheerfully. No, I didn't, Mr. Miller said, and it was sort of a snarl. But I'll tell you one thing, any blame fool who says owls can't count is a liar. On the way home, Mr. Miller finally told us what had happened. About an hour after we went walking, the owl came back. She lit on her nest, and then she turned around and took a good long look at that little tent, which was on a level with her and only about 6 feet away. Mr. Miller was busy inside the tent, focusing his camera and getting ready to take the owl's picture, when she asked, "Hoo-hoo! Hoo-hoo!" and took one leap. The next thing Mr. Miller knew, the front was ripped right out of the tent, and the owl was looking him in the eye from about a foot away. Mr. Miller accidentally dropped his camera, and then, of course, he had to hurry down to see if it was all right. And that was when he got back to the bluff. I guess it wasn't a very good day for Mr. Miller, but it wasn't too bad for us. Mr. Miller said he had seen 3 young owls in the nest, and he thought they were about halfway grown, which meant they were about the right age to take home for pets. Bad idea. All we had to do now was to figure out some way to get a hold of them.